Alright boys, today we're going to go over how to farm the Coinbase airdrop or the base airdrop. I think it's a big opportunity, essentially risk-free, maybe. Now if you don't know, Coinbase have their own chain, like Ethereum, like Solana, called Base. And they currently do not have a token, and they were acting like we're never going to do an airdrop, we're never going to drop a Base token, right? But now they've changed their tune. I think with the Trump administration and probably looser legislation and restrictions, they're thinking about doing it to improve liquidity on the Base chain, right? Now, the thing is, Base chain being backed by Coinbase is kind of like when Solana was being backed by FTX, and it's probably going to be a huge token, huge airdrop. So it's a huge opportunity to get in and get qualified for this thing, right? Now, the number one thing, in my opinion, that's going to qualify you for getting this airdrop is providing liquidity, right? Older airdrops like Arbitrum, all you had to do was do a few transactions, trade a few coins, and you got a big airdrop. This was like a huge mistake. It massively backfired because hundreds of thousands of Chinese, Indian farmers qualified for the airdrop and dumped the token. So airdrops that came after that, they've all required you to provide liquidity. This means that you can't, if you're getting your token allocation based on the amount of liquidity you provide, it takes out the possibility of somebody just creating millions of wallets, doing little basic tasks with low funds and qualifying for tons of tokens just so they can sell them. You have to put up a decent amount of your own money on 1, 2, 3 wallets, okay? Now, the place I would recommend that you put up this liquidity is Aave.com, okay? This is because Aave is one of the biggest DeFi protocols, and it's been around since before I got into crypto. It's kind of safety in numbers, and it's got a proven track record that it's not gonna rug, and your funds aren't gonna disappear. Hopefully, that's not a guarantee. They could get hacked or whatever, you never know. But it seems fairly safe historically, okay? So all you got to do is deposit onto the Base chain off of whatever centralized exchange that you use to onboard, and then get onto Aave, make sure it's on Base. And when you find the Aave website, make sure you get it off of Twitter and make sure that it is the official one. You'll know it's the official one because it'll have a shitload of followers, and it'll be followed by other popular crypto accounts, and it should have some special tick, And as you can see here, I've got some USDC and some Ethereum farming there. I've provided liquidity. And if you just provide stable coins, USDC, you're going to get 5% APY. So you're getting 5% APY, plus you're potentially qualifying for the Base token airdrop. I think that's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. So it's 5% APY, but if you do end up qualifying for the Base airdrop, it could end up being a lot more. And when it comes to this providing liquidity to qualify, and how it's worked in the past for tokens like ZK Sync, is the longer you have provided liquidity, the more you will qualify for, the more tokens you qualify. So like the more you put up and the longer you put up your liquidity, the more you will qualify, okay? So I wouldn't wait around. I'd do it as quickly as possible. Just park it on there, and occasionally you can claim these rewards up here, and then that's a bit of organic activity on the chain. You can mess about a little bit on other protocols too, maybe put up a little bit of liquidity on other DeFi protocols, but I'd mainly mess around with Aave just because I know that they're safe, okay? And I would do everything by hand and manually. There are a lot of people that use like Sybil protocols and like code how to use 1,000 wallets, and they've got like £10 on every wallet, and they're farming that £10 on every wallet. They have measures in place with these airdrops now to make sure that those types of accounts do not qualify. This is what happened with ZK Sync. I did everything by hand, manually. I did it all myself, and I provided a reasonable amount of liquidity for each wallet that I farmed on. And there was a bunch of people that were salty because they farmed on 1,000 wallets, 2,000 wallets, 1,000,000 wallets, and they just didn't use any liquidity per wallet, and they did it all through like programs where they were doing it hands off. They weren't doing it themselves. They weren't putting in the hard work. You got to do it yourself. You got to get in there, put the tokens on yourself, go and claim the rewards yourself. Just mess about on the chain once a week, put up some decent liquidity, and I'll be pretty confident that you're going to qualify for this airdrop if it does come.